Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Look, I wanted to take a moment and share with you, people who ever hear my voice, that yes, the world is getting ready to change. This is all prophecy. Uh, and I'm glad to be able to. I haven't spent too much time talking about prophecy. I leave that to other people. All I want to talk about is the love that God has shown me and how to bring that stuff about. But it just so happens I've been thrown into a situation where I've seen this prophecy, and it acknowledges everything that's going on. It talks about all these 400 years of abuse that we, black people and people, have gone through, just all across the globe. Everybody, if whatever was happening in America is happening everywhere else too. Maybe not the same thing, but the world has been ran by people who have decided that God wasn't good enough, that they knew better than God. And so it was kind of refreshing to hear today that when all this racism and this bigotry taking land and treating black people as they are nothing and doing all of the things that many of you haven't heard that they did to us, but they did it, and trying to plan on doing it again. As I mentioned the other day, I was listening to some soap on cable, and some little white boy was saying stuff like what the world should do. Should he? Maybe he was just talking to America, is all people of different ethnicities should be put in different places. Black people should be put all locked up in jail, and white people just be living in paradise. Now I'm just thinking of all the hell that's going on in the world today, and all the crime and violence that's going on. Well, as I was listening to this prophecy, they was telling us how America had done all the stuff, this evil stuff, had just defied God in every way they possibly can, and that now after these 400 years, God was bringing it back, making the tail the head and the head the tail. And that is evident through what Donald Trump is doing as president of the United States. First of all, what America's place in the world, he's destroyed that. America's place as far as being susceptible to engage in war, he's destroyed that. People who were never worried about, well, to the degree that America allowed it, wasn't worried about hunger. Now they want to make sure people don't get the food, make sure people can't pay their bills, make sure they can't get health care, all of this. And these people were calling, Lord, give us Donald Trump. Give us Donald Trump, because Donald Trump will give us our privileges. And what God did to them, just what they wanted. Somebody who had no compassion, no caring for anybody. Only this time, they couldn't direct it at the poor, at the blacks and others, because we've gone through this so much. And prophecy was saying now what he's doing now is reflected on you. So what's going on right now is tearing the white folks down. Everything that the white folks been representing in America is being destroyed by Donald Trump. Their God sent person to straighten them up. And it's going to get straight, but it's going to be straight by poor people, people who suffered, black people. We're going to change the world because we're going to allow God to live in our lives, and we're going to do what God wants done. And that's what's going to change it. Talk to you later.